Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. And we're talking about the big race coming up, Shootout Offshore. It's new. It used to be called Lake Race. Now it's Shootout Offshore. So we've got Leah Martin, who is the director of the Shootout, and we've got the beautiful lady from Camden on the Lake, right, who is the sales and marketing manager, Denise Pence.
Yes.
So thank you ladies for coming by. Appreciate it.
Thanks
for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
So kind of exciting because it's a whole new thing, the Shootout Offshore, right? Used to be known as the Lake Race. And we're hosting this thing, we're running this race right outside of Camden on the Lake, right?
We are. We're very excited. Yeah.
So is this kind of a race this weekend? Is this like one of the bigger things that you do in the year, or does this just fit in among 1,000 other things that you're doing over there?
We have some big events, but we have probably 4 to 5 that are pretty big per year. So it's one of the biggest ones we host. So.
Well, and in years past, lake races kind of struggled, right? Which is partly why it is now Shootout Offshore. Is this something that you kind of see as growing and growing and growing in the years to come?
I do, as far as the hotel side.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it seems to be a really good partnership, I believe. So
Yeah.
we're making changes this year. So yeah.
And from the Shootout Offshore standpoint, did you guys ever think of a different place to have it, or is this like the perfect place?
For me, it's logistically a perfect place. You can see the race from from both locations, and so I think it's just great. There's hotels and racers and pits and everything kind of on site there. So it'll be, looking forward to working closely with the hotel to be able to secure dates. Our teams are there, and it'll be great.
Yeah, right. And so Denise, how much planning does this take for a place like Camden on the Lake to put an event like this together? Is this something you can put together in a week, or is this a couple months in the planning, right?
This is a couple months in the planning. So we're already talking about dates for 2025 just because we need to know to book off hotel rooms and space and things like that for the event. So
the things that that most people don't think about, you have to make room for all the people coming in, for the racers.
Correct. Yes.
Coming in, and is there a formula? I mean, you don't just kind of willy-nilly do that. You have to think about that.
We do. We also have to worry about parking. We have to worry about the food and beverage side, any extra events, VIP dinners, award dinners, things like that. There's a lot of planning, and it takes the entire team at the hotel to get together from all departments.
Right. So in Camden on the Lake, you guys share that cove over there with Shady Gators.
We do, yes.
Right? I mean, a really tight kind of a little space there. So, and you guys are working together on this. You're kind of, hosting this together, right? Is there a lot of working with you guys working with Shadys and stuff like that? You have to communicate a lot about that?
Honestly, we go a lot through Leah just because she works with each venue. However, we do communicate back and forth. So.
Is this a normal thing? Do you do a lot of events like this with Shadys, or do you guys usually compete against each other?
We don't compete. We don't compete. I am trying to get a couple events in the works to kind of have a fun thing with them, but that's still under wraps of what I'm trying to do.
It's actually kind of cool when you've got Camden on the Lake here, Shady's over here, and you're not fighting each other for business. You're kind of helping each other, aren't you?
Yeah, we do get along really well. So.
That helps. That helps a lot.
I'm encouraging a boardwalk between the two, so if we can make that happen for 25.
Wow, a boardwalk. Is Shootout paying for that?
Oh, no. I need those guys to pay for that. But I talked to, actually, JG called me last night, and he was telling me he had his daughter this weekend, and they went over to H-Toads and had breakfast, and they had a fun time. And I think he took some of her little friends over, and so I know they just support each other, which is great.
Okay, and you say H-Toads, horny toads, right? So for somebody who really doesn't know what horny toads is, what is H-Toads?
So H-Toads is our bar and grill that we have, which is part of the Horny Toad Entertainment Complex. That's part of the outside stage that we have, where we have outdoor concerts, and then it is all connected to Camden on the Lake. So when people say Horny Toad Entertainment Complex, it's also Camden on the Lake. And I think some people think Horny Toad is one thing, H-Toads is another thing, Camden on the Lake is another, but it's all one.
It's really all the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. See, and I'm one of those people that I don't know why, but I would throw H-Toads in with Shady Gators. Maybe because they're both animal kind of things, But it's not. H-Toads is all Camden on the Lake.
It is, and I think that's a misconception at the lake, or people coming into the lake, is that they think because we're all the same cove that Shady Gators is H-Toads and vice versa. But yeah, we're
Right.
completely separate.
And it's not. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. And so how do you go about like welcoming the racers in? Do they like all stay at your place, or most of them, or how does that work?
We would like for them to stay at our place. However, we already have a sold out group for this year. And so there was kind of some scheduling, but we have plenty of rooms available for Friday and Saturday night. So any guests coming in town that would like to come view the race, we have the prime opportunity to be able to rent a room, and you can watch it right out on your own balcony.
I mean, that's kind of the all-in-one setup.
Yeah.
It's like, going to a resort where you don't have to leave for,
Correct.
the whole week. That's kind of what you got going on over there.
Yeah.
Right?
It really is great. And our hope, with spectator parking and how we're going to handle that is it's kind of the conversation was once they're there the weekend, we feel like most people will just stay on site. And so that's great. All the events, VIP experiences, concerts, like everything's going to be held on site there between the two organizations. So as she said, we're discussing 25 dates because unfortunately, our organization didn't have control of this race when they were discussing those dates. And so we want to make sure moving forward that the hotel can accommodate all the race teams. I mean, I've got guys coming from Australia, from everywhere. And so they're kind of all over the lake this year, but hopefully we'll be able to put a lot of them there at Camden next year.
That's the tough thing when you get told a couple of months before the race, oh, by the way, you're running this race, right? I just scramble mode and put it all together, but you guys are doing an amazing job. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to talk about how to watch the race from Camden on the Lake and all that good stuff. So be sure to not go anywhere. It's Leah Martin, director of the Shootout and now Shootout Offshore, and Denise Pence, who is sales and marketing over at Camden on the Lake. So we'll be back with more right after this.
Download the free Lake TV app.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. If it's happening at the lake, it's happening on Lake TV. From the polar plunge to festivals, parades, aquapalooza, and boat shows, Lake TV has it all. Even the granddaddy of them all, the Shootout. If you're looking for places to party, things to do, or even a new home to move into, you've gotta love Lake TV. Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. We're talking about the upcoming Shootout Offshore race. It's not the Shootout, it's the Shootout Offshore. Whole different kind of racing. And so we have got Leah Martin, director of the Shootout, and Denise Pence, sales and marketing over at Camden on the Lake. So you guys recently got new ownership over there at Camden on the Lake.
We did,
a few years ago.
2017.
They've been pouring money in over there, right?
Yes, we're very proud of it. We have renovated hard goods, soft goods in every guest room. We've renovated every banquet space that we have. Currently, one of our ballrooms is almost to completion. All new carpet, paint, you name it. They've taken care of it all. So we've redone the parking lots over there. So yeah, they're proud of their product as well as I am to be working there to showcase a good quality.
It sure makes your job easier when the owners are chipping in and doing their job,
yes,
right?
It does, yeah.
Wow. And from your standpoint, that probably makes your job a little bit easier when you put on a race like this going, hey, I know we've got a professional, great place that we're going to do this.
Yeah, it's great. We've really seen that reinvestment kind of all over the lake into our hotels and restaurants. And so it's great to be able to have that and know that we can confidently put international racers for this race, the Class 1 coming in. And so I'm sure that they're like, I promise you it's a good, clean hotel. It's nice. It's a good experience. And so,
right. We're not going to throw you in the Super 8 and you got to worry about bed bugs, and stuff like that.
It's a great experience, I think, for everyone. And so that's good. And it just helps us on the logistics side of our race to know that that's one thing we don't have to worry about.
No doubt about it. I mean, because it's tough when you're putting things together, putting promotional things together, and you know they're going to come in and they're going, what in the world am I doing here? But they don't have to worry about that because they're going to be at Camden on the Lake.
Yeah, and then just keeping them there. I mean, the goal is, everything happened. There's just so much with this race. It's 2 full days of racing. There's outside of the 2 fulls, those guys are going to race all day on Friday and then have a 6 p.m. mandatory drivers meeting. So they just need to be able to have those accommodations on site, and we'll just be able to keep them there.
No doubt. And it also definitely helps the VIP experience.
Absolutely.
Tell us about what you got going on there.
Absolutely. So we have a great VIP experience in one of the renovated ballrooms that she was discussing in the harbor room. And so you'll be able to look out, and it's a beautiful view of the course, covered patios, private tables, cash bar. There's food and beverage experience that is exclusive to that room. So there's not long waits on food. And the same thing with Shady Gators out on their point. We'll be able to have a food and beverage experience for VIPs as well. And all of that money benefits the charities. And so we'll be able to sell that. Keep an eye on the Shootouts website and Shootouts. We have shootoutoffshore.com. And so you'll be able to purchase those VIP experiences very soon, hopefully the end of this week.
Well, in the VIP experiences, is that just for boat owners and drivers, or is that for anybody who wants to come and really enjoy the race?
It's for anyone who wants to come and enjoy the race. I wish I had time to go sit there on the harbor. I mean, because you can see the race from there. It's a beautiful view. I went down and took some pictures, and you really can see a good portion of the race course, which is great. And so you can have, just that lake life experience of a frozen drink in one hand and a great food, and then being able to watch, offshore racing here at Lake of the Ozarks.
It doesn't get any better than that, right?
No, both locations it's going to have a great experience. So we're just excited to be able to offer that.
It's funny how that changes when you get older. You're young, you like to be out in the sun, on the dock, drinking, being stupid. But when you get older, it's like, I think I like that VIP experience a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
There's something to that.
And the racing is, 8 to 5. So we're racing long days this year.
That's
so
true.
being able to have those accommodations, because you don't want to miss, right? And the races are going to change frequently. It's going to be a very tight schedule. Some of the classes are doing 2 races, so it'll be a double points weekend for them. So
nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Okay. So now, are you a race fan? Have you been a boat racing fan for a long time, or are you just kind of coming into that world now?
So I am an adrenaline junkie, and I grew up watching. My dad used to own a drop zone, so I grew up with skydivers, and I spent all my summers and weekends with that. So I've always been a part of the lake ever since high school. So I've watched the races, but now that I'm actually involved, I'm becoming a race fan. But my son is friends with Myrick
Coyle, yeah.
So I can say that I have a favorite racer now. But,
there you go.
So,
Absolutely.
It's fun.
I talk about name dropping over here with the Hall of Famer Myrick Coyle. That's right. And you're now running these two of the biggest races in the country now, which Shootout and Shootout Offshore. Have you always been a boat racing fan, or has this been something you've just kind of learned about?
No, I mean, so we enjoy racing. My husband runs a start boat and has, since Shooter's 21. And I always had the best view during Shootout. I would just sit on the start boat and get wet from some of the rooster tails coming through there.
Right.
And so I traded that cushy role into actually organizing it. And so essentially I'm just a great organizer. I like this. It's kind of like herding cats, literally.
Yeah.
And so I like the challenge. It's a fun world. These guys are generous givers, and I've always worked for national nonprofit organizations. So knowing that at the end of the day, my bottom line is what are we doing for our nonprofits and having an impact on our community? And these guys are great to do that. And they all kind of know. I had someone reach out this weekend and say, hey, I have a fundraising opportunity. I know you'll only do it if it's for the charity, so let's talk about it. So I think that's good.
It's good that people know that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's great.
Okay.
So we're just excited. And,
cool.
And the teams know that the money goes to charities.
Right.
And that's a huge difference with some of the other races. It's not, a promoter or an organization or a for-profit. It has a direct bottom line here, an impact, and they love that. Yeah, they support that.
Big difference. Okay, so we just have a few seconds left. If people want to get more information about Camden on the Lake, resort and spa and yacht club and all that, how do they get that information?
They can go to our website, camdenonthelake.com. They can book their rooms directly for the race weekend. We also have Facebook, Camden on the Lake. We have H-Toads on Facebook and H-Toads website, htoads.com.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your joining us.
Thanks
for having me.
And thank you for joining us for Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show.